אותם? תגיד לנו או ש...
We're in the air.
We're on it. All right.
Yes, I think we
Yes,
are
we're on
air.
air.
All right.
That's great.
So we are in the middle of nature, upstate New York,
Iroquois
all around the
Springs. Yeah, so welcome to you all. Everyone who can come tonight, whether you're coming on YouTube, on Facebook, also we're on retreat.kabbalah.info/live. If you can make it to that page, then go to that page. We're all over the place, just like the retreat. The retreat's going to be in Iroquois Springs in New York. It's also going to be virtual, and that's just like how we are set up here. Here we have Asaf and Gilad. And we all
Joseph and Gil, as you might
know.
know.
You might also know them as Joseph and Gil.
Our more communicative name.
Yeah. And I'm Marcus, and we also have our virtual panel over here. Really fun, great event. You can ask your questions at any time during this event. Ask your questions. Also, if you've already gotten your retreat tickets and you're coming to the retreat, share your inspiration. You know, what are you expecting at the retreat? What's inspiring you to come? This session, we're going to go and answer any questions you have, whether it's about the retreat or any question that you want Kabbalah's answer to in general. Although we are going to prioritize questions about the retreat. And if you ask questions or write any kind of comments in relation to this during the event, so you're also going to go into the prize, go into the draw to win the prize of books courtesy of Kabbalahinfo. So we're going to be giving out those during the event. And one lucky prize winner, the grand prize winner, is going to go to anyone who actually gets their tickets to the retreat during this event. If you're one of these people who still hasn't got their tickets, because lots of people have already gotten their tickets for both for the in-person retreat at Iroquois Springs in Catskills Mountains, New York, and also for the virtual retreat, which will be an exclusive Zoom access to everyone who participates. So you can get your tickets for that at retreat.kabbalah.info at any time. But if you get that now, starting from now to the end of the event, then you go into the draw to get all your cash back on that retreat ticket.
I should have waited before I signed up.
Yeah, you should have.
Should have waited.
How about we have that winner applause? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Let's do the winner applause.
We'll give you
There you go. So anyway, let's get into it. If you don't know what the retreat's all about, we're going to go and just watch a short clip now where Tony, who's also here with us live, he'll also be telling to you in a much more scripted way in this clip what the retreat's about, and then we'll also talk a little bit about it over here. So let's go to the first clip.
World for 3 days of immersion into a true Kabbalistic environment that functions just like the laws of nature. Learn to live them 24/7, building bonds of confidence that turn the love of friends into a connection with the upper force. Eat, sleep, serve, celebrate with fellow students and teachers from KabU. Turn your study into spiritual attainment. Make it real.
All right, so a retreat is really the culmination of all the means we have to attain spirituality. It's the highest concentration of a supportive environment, of lots of people who are studying the wisdom of Kabbalah, together with the teacher, together with the sources, for an intensive 3-day period where we can really get in deep and experience connection and experience these the force of the light and all these everything that we're studying becomes really practical and really comes to life during a retreat more than any other time. Now we're just going to go through, and everyone on our panel is just going to say a little bit of something about what's in store for you at the retreat coming up. So maybe let's just kick it off here with Joseph.
All right. All right, everybody. So, retreat. First of all, it's gonna be fun. As you can see, we're already really hyped up about it here. A retreat is something that it's out of the ordinary. It is a very unique, one-of-a-kind experience. It is something that catapults you out of this world into as close as possible to the upper world. The upper world is found when we are all feeling as one. That's really where that spirituality that Kabbalists are talking about is found. That spirituality is our oneness, is our shared consciousness, our shared sensation between us and the rest of nature. What we do in a retreat is we put ourselves in an environment where we have almost zero disturbances, zero interferences, zero noise, so that we can really aim our hearts to feel that oneness that we do share on a higher, deeper spiritual level of consciousness. And it's doing it together with a bunch of friends, with KabU instructors that will be there, and students, and everything just melds into this one experience is something beyond words, to be honest. It is beyond words. And I won't say anything, therefore. I'll just give the mic to Gilad.
So it's all of that, but and it's so much fun. Seriously, the retreat it's just the best time ever. You come there, whether physically or virtually, you just experience that connection that we talk about, that we practice, that we want to implement between us. That same connection that's not just, the connection of this world. It's a connection that's driven by the most powerful, highest force in reality. That's the force that drives that connection. And at the retreat, we experience all of that to its fullest, amplified, magnified, intensified. It's amazing. And it's so much fun. On to you guys, Zoom. Go ahead.
Yeah, given what's happening in the world that everybody can see, we want to know, how do we live in whatever this is that is forming now? Because whatever we had is going. There's a kind of dissolving of an old way of life, and this is, one of the reasons why this is going to be both virtual and physical. This is the sort of name, the theme of the retreat is beyond the physical. What we're going to do is we're going to live for 3 days according to the laws of nature, which have to do with how we connect, how you build a loving society, connection, goodness for the whole picture, for all of nature. And this is our birthright. It's already happening for us. And what we're going to learn is basic tools on how to quickly adapt, to understand the things that we've been learning and to see them as, oh, that's how we do it. And it's all just it's going to be fun. We're going to learn things. We're going to discover things. We're going to teach things to each other. And I mean everybody. It's a blast, especially some of the special events that we've got planned, which now is not the time, but I want you to think about what might be happening.
Anytime you are in an environment with people who are truly studying in Kabbalah, you're going to feel like you're just kind of being caught up in a wave. You're feeling something that you're just kind of let go and let it carry you. But there's something even more special about actually being out in such a beautiful place in nature where you're inclined to kind of relax anyway, where you're totally separating from your everyday activity. And we're going to accomplish this virtually too. You're going to be so surprised at how much you can feel as if you are out there in nature, even if you can only participate virtually. It's going to be as every bit, we can't really bring the pine scent, but so much of it, of that environment is going to be communicated.
It's truly a special environment. It's truly a special environment. It's like someone who's meant to be an Olympic surfer, you know, experiencing the beach for the first time. This is the kind of environment that it's creating for this special desire that exists in all of us who are here, this desire to reach our root, which is in the upper world. And it's putting us in the perfect conditions for its realization. And even though it's only for a weekend, under these special conditions that are created when we're surrounded by others who have this same inclination, we can experience a little bit of that upper world, because it's truly the ideal conditions. But it's not just that we experience this one time at the event. It's something that creates an internal template that we can take with us in our spiritual work. From that time forward, we experience Kabbalah, and the entire reality in which we exist, we experience it differently because we've been through this experience.
And you will find yourself in a setting that's perfectly prepared, warm, cozy, familiar. And you will get to meet all those lovely people who, up until that moment, you only saw in square little boxes virtually. You'll get to meet them and see that they are real.
And I just wanted to add on to, because when Tony was talking, he was saying beyond the physical, it's like, you know, well, of course, you know, part will be part of the friends that will be participating, the students will be physical, virtual, and part will be physical, but there's really, you're going to experience something there when you meet in person. It's like something very, very familiar to you. It's a feeling of coming home. You have to experience it. The moment it's just, you know, it's like these people, you see them in person for the first time, but it's like something very, very familiar, like, wow, you know, I know you, I've known you all along. It's something much higher beyond this world, beyond anything you've ever experienced in your lifetime, guaranteed.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, we're sorry also for the audio hiccup earlier. We'll fix it. You should be hearing us now.
Yeah, so
okay.
Complain if you don't, and you just flow with it if you do. So yeah,
Marcos, we don't hear you, or at least I don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you're
you
muted.
need to unmute. I guess that's you, Tom. There we go. How about now?
all right.
Sound is good? All right.
We're good?
Right.
Okay.
So but what Marcus said is we're sorry for
Yeah, but
having
now you're
sound
muted
issues.
again.
He said it while we were muted, so you didn't hear that? Wait a minute.
You were actually unmuted there for a second.
Okay. All right, let's keep rolling. Good. Everyone can
Now you're
hear?
good. Now you're good.
Excellent.
All right. Yeah, sound, it's a necessary thing. Yeah, we gotta work with it. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna go and watch another clip, but before that, also, any of you who have already signed up for this retreat, anyone who's already got their tickets, anyone who's already preparing, so please write your own impressions. Write what you feel is in store for you at the retreat. What are you expecting from the retreat? Just write a line. Write it in the comments below if you're on YouTube. Write it in the comments if you're on Facebook. Write it in the comments below if you're on the retreat.kabbalah.info/live page. Just share your impressions. And after this clip, we'll also start announcing our prize winners for anyone who's asking questions. We see lots of your questions here. So we're going to get to those too soon. And yeah, let's go watch this clip with some more friends' impressions from the retreat.
Everything comes from above except our love. And everything depends on the love, on it. Here we go. Everything comes from above except our love. And everything depends on it, depends on it, depends on it. Everything comes from above except our love.
lights exercise. And I wish each of you could just reach in and take out some of this heat or even fire. I'm sure you all have that same kind of feeling.
Everything comes from above, except our love. And everything depends on it, depends on it, depends on it. Everything comes from above, except our love. And everything depends on it, depends on it, depends on it.
All right, that was
Alright.
amazing. Yeah. We'll already go to the first prize winner.
Whoa,
So,
already.
Why do we like prizes so much?
yeah, it's a big-
Obviously, because our nature likes prizes.
Likes
yeah,
a reward without
Yeah.
doing too much.
without doing too much. Yeah. And all you do is write a question, and you get this book package. It doesn't even matter what you get. You just
The greatest thing about a Kabbalah Q&A celebration is that you get prizes and you know why you like getting them. That's awesome.
that's a great point. So yeah, let's give this first one out to drum. Willie Starks. Yes. And that prize is a 8-book package from KabbalahBooks.info, Lateman Kabbalah Publishers.
8.
Just wait
Yes.
a second. 8 books?
Yeah, you just got 8 books for asking a question.
This is a
Understand?
serious thing.
It's a major.
8 books? Wow. This is,
You see
this
how
is
much?
serious.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's actually called the Share the Wisdom package. So if you're feeling even slightly ashamed for getting so much for so little effort, you can even share the wisdom. You can give those books out
Alright, there we go.
to other people.
Now that makes
But
sense.
it's up to you. I recommend definitely reading those books before giving them to anyone. So yeah, congratulations, Willie Starks. And now we'll just go into a bit of Q&A because that's actually what it's here for, this event. So there's actually lots of great prizes from what's after death to what's the time of the retreat. So let's get into the first one. Willie Starks, since you won the prize, we'll already ask your question. It seems to be a short one. Will there be meetings for those of us taking on responsibilities for the retreat?
Will there be what?
Meetings for those of us taking on responsibilities for the retreat.
Meetings?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm not sure I completely understand the question. That's all I have to say. Will there be meetings?
I passed on the mic.
As in,
like Gil should have an answer for this one, and apparently he doesn't.
if you're, what? The sound is off.
Just
Bring the mic
closer.
closer.
Okay,
All right. So we'll do this. Okay, we have our mic back up on the way here, so we should have the mic thing organized in just a couple of moments. If you're coming to the retreat and you're taking on some role there, first of all, that's awesome. I can say that the fact that you're taking on some responsibility there, it will give you more. I know it's backwards to what we're used to,
Mm-hmm.
Usually you give more and then you have less because you give more. But in Kabbalah, if you give more, then you have more. And I think the best way is just to experience that. So if you're asking a technical question, then don't worry. If you volunteered for something, then whoever is with you on that will make sure to guide you, be in contact with you, etc. Plus, for any questions, you can always reach out to info@kabuconnect.com. Do we have that email ready somewhere?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
info@KabU.
Okay. No, so no problem. One of the moderators will post it in the chats, I'm sure. So any questions, info@kabuconnect.com.
All right. There's actually a lot of these kind of technical questions. Maybe we just do a quick blitz of them before we
let's
get
do a
into
blitz
some
of
deeper
technical
questions.
Let's
Okay, so
go.
Gilad's the general manager here, so he's ready for them. Okay, let's go on. Can I park my camper on location? There's one by BL.
That's a good question.
That's a good one.
Most likely the answer is yes, because I know that there is parking and a lot of it. But if you have a camper and it's big, then I can't tell you now for sure, but email info@KabUconnect.com.
All right. Well, look, I think that's pretty much the answer to a lot of these. There's ones asking about catching the bus to the retreat from the Newark airport. There's ones about when can I expect to receive my shirt, itinerary, etc.
Here's the thing with Kabbalists. You see, we are very capable of explaining how the wisdom of Kabbalah explains life, reality, nature, the world, and everything in between. But when it comes to those technical details, we don't trust ourselves that well. So you really will definitely 100% get a clear answer from that email. Let's say it again because we can't put it on screen yet. So info at KabUconnect.com. It's already in the chat. So really, guys, instead of us making a technical mistake here, just send an email. You'll get an answer quickly. I promise.
Look, I'll just quickly kill two more of these questions that you got here. Debbie Brady's asking how will the virtual retreat go? Look, the virtual retreat, the thing with the retreat is we have the in-person retreat, which is at Iroquois Springs in Catskills Mountains, New York. That is preferable. If you can make it to the physical in-person retreat, definitely put in the efforts to go there. Just like we have here, you get to be among nature. You get to be among friends physically. It's a different kind of vibe to that kind of boxy setting we have on the Zoom that we have here. Yeah, but seriously, the virtual retreat is going to be running parallel, and that'll be an exclusive Zoom access that everyone will get to everyone who subscribes to everyone who gets their tickets for the virtual retreat. And it's going to be completely dedicated, and the whole event will be hybrid. There's going to be, just like we are now, we have instructors on Zoom, we have instructors over here to cater to everyone there. So
yeah, I'd like to say something about that aspect of it. The virtual part will be as integrated as possible. We're working on all kinds of different ways to make it feel like we're all really there. I mean, the people who are there physically will see the people that are there virtually in every event. They'll be like integrated actually into the physical setting, and so we're gonna be doing some things that we've never done before in integrating these two things, so that we feel that we can sort of feel the boundary between the physical and the virtual, but not the distance. Not the distance at all, because it'll be made for maximum connection and maximum overlap. And hopefully, but also the friends that are there physically will be able to understand that it's not just a physical connection. It is also, it goes beyond what we see. And hopefully that this porousness of, a physical reality, we're going to feel that it's more and more translucent. And we're going to do our best to do as many innovative things that we can. It's the first time we're really trying to break that wall down.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
So I'll just say to sum up that whole hybrid event questions you might have, you might be asking yourselves, wait, can you hear me now? Is
yes.
Sound good?
Look towards the camera.
So you might be thinking, should I come? Should I not come? The answer is very simple. If you can come to the event, come to the event. No doubt. If you can make it, if you live in America, or even if you don't live in America, but you can, in spite of the situation, if you can fly and make it there, definitely come. No question. If you can't come, for whatever reason, we're in a worldwide pandemic, it's pretty obvious that in most countries you won't even be able to fly there, or for whatever reason, if you actually can't make it physically there, then I guarantee you'll get everything from the experience by attending virtually. Like Tony said, we're going to make every effort we can to not have it a parallel event, to have it together as one event. We'll see each other, you'll be able to ask questions, participate, hear the instructors, interact with the students, be in the workshops, be with us on our walks in the bonfire. You'll be with us every second of the event. So definitely come. Just if you can make it there physically, and if not, then virtually.
All right. This next question, let's send it over to Gianni. Gianni, get yourself ready. It's by Isoki, asking on the retreat.kabbalah.info/live page. Are we expecting that the force created through our connection during this retreat, will it create an impression on humanity? And if so, what are we expecting?
Absolutely. So Kabbalah says that the entire reality is actually inside of you. This is what we learn in perception of reality. And the whole world was created just for you. And what I'm seeing outside of myself in society, in politics, and everything, it's all a reflection of my attitude towards reality. And all of reality is judged the same. There's me and the rest of reality. If I change my attitude towards it, I already start changing reality. Now, how can I change reality? How can I change my attitude? I can't do it in my normal life where the game is already set, where it's clear that I need to make money here and I need to have certain kind of family relationships there and friends with my neighbors and all of that. I need to do it in a special environment. This is where I can start that change. And this environment is made of specific particles. Let's say that all of reality, just like at the micro level, you have different atoms that can connect in different ways and create a different kind of substance based on the kind of connections they make. Carbon atoms can make either graphite or diamond, depending how they connect. Well, also on the macro level, the human level, we're like particles, and we're not all the same. We're different. There's different particles, and there's these particles called people who have the point in the heart. They're the ones that yearn towards spirituality and are drawn to the wisdom of Kabbalah. And these special particles they actually have a different charge. And when they try to connect with each other, especially in an environment that is like this petri dish for these special particles, when they try to connect in this environment that we're going to create, they can build this new template for seeing reality. If all of reality and the dark world that I see before me right now is created out of the template that I operate from naturally from birth, my egoistic desire, my will to receive, I can start building on top of this a brand new template. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it in a focused way during this time where we can already get the beginnings of this new template and begin seeing all of reality differently. So we'll experience it a little bit in the retreat. And if we solidify this new sense through which we can experience reality, we can also experience it in the rest of our life as well.
Thank you very much, Gianni. We got a question here from YouTube by Simon de Orlak. He says, hi from Malaysia. He says, I have my ticket for the virtual retreat. First of all, congratulations for getting your ticket for the virtual retreat.
All right, happy to hear that.
It's great, yes. This one we're going to send to you, Joseph. What did spiritual attainment mean to you, and what can a virtual participant expect?
Great question. Spiritual attainment it's a very special word that Kabbalists use. It's not by chance that they use exactly that word, because interfacing with spirituality is not something you understand. It's not something you just learn or educate yourself about. It is something you become. The creator that Kabbalists talk about, which is the sum total of all governing forces of nature. It is not an entity outside of us that we learn to meet and get to know like another person or being outside of me. It is rather a quality embedded in nature that I become like. This is called from your actions we know you. Only through becoming like that quality, making internal actions with my desire and my intention like that governing force of bestowal, the governing force of reality, only that's the only way that I can attain it. And attainment means something that is, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Attainment means the most visceral, vivid, tangible, empirical experience. It is not theorizing, it is not like learning about something and just having it in your mind. It becomes a part of you. And so where can you find that quality of bestowal, that spiritual attainment? How can you attain it? You have to attain it as if Kabbalists say, like you hold something in your hand. That is what attainment means. Literally in Hebrew, attainment means that you're holding it in your hands. And so how can you do it? What are the kinds of actions? What are those qualities that you need to develop within you in order to experience spirituality? These qualities are the qualities of connection, oneness, unity, integration with the rest of reality. In a retreat, we create a lab. We set up a laboratory where people come with that intention and with that preparation to make these internal actions of desire and intention towards each other so they can experience somewhat of that quality of bestowal between them. That's what the whole retreat is for. That's what the whole wisdom of Kabbalah is about in a nutshell. So that's what I would expect from a retreat. Nothing less than practicing that, and that's what I really recommend to anyone who's coming to think about. The preparation for the retreat is as good as being in the retreat itself. It's critically important. What you want to get out of it is what you'll get out of it. So we'll stop it there.
Okay.
All right.
Speaking of preparation, we have right after this live event, we have our weekly KabU Zoom session, which is a weekly gathering with all of our KabU students.
Yes.
And this week, we're dedicating it for preparation to the retreat. So anyone that's registered to the retreat will also be invited to join, regardless if you're in KabU or not. And also the KabU students are also going to be there. So it's happening right after this event. So in a little bit under an hour from now, we're going to be continuing right after on Zoom for the KabU weekly Zoom session. And if you sign up now, then of course you'll get an immediate link and you'll be able to join that Zoom session as well.
Okay.
All right.
Look, we're going to go into another break now. I just want to remind that this event, if you haven't got your tickets yet for the retreat, if you're still doubtful about anything and you still don't know about it, what I recommend is you have nothing to lose if you get your tickets for the virtual retreat. And one of the reasons we're putting on this event as well, okay, here you can see this pricing table makes it very clear. If you look at it here, right here, this tells you exactly what you get. And it also makes the point of what I was just about to say. I was about to say that one of the reasons we're putting on this event now is because this coming Friday is the last day that the early bird discount ends. And beyond Friday, starting from this Saturday, you have to pay full price. It's like that for several reasons. One, because of you yourselves. It benefits you yourselves in terms of your preparation and how you get ready for such an event, that you register early and you can already start arranging yourselves mentally and emotionally toward the event. Also for the organization itself, knowing how many people are coming to arrange things like food and everything that's needed physically for people attending. If we can just show the pricing table again. So this just makes clear like what everyone gets in each setting. So in person, as Gil said earlier, it's always preferable if you can make it in person, if you can put in that extra effort to come in person, you get so much more. It's just a complete immersion in, even though it's a beautiful natural environment there, an extraordinary camp experience and a natural oasis, you'll literally be immersed in just people who are studying and immersing themselves in this and who've made that extra effort to go there physically. There's questions here as well. I'm seeing people who are asking questions about how to get there from the Newark airport and all kinds of things. It's amazing what efforts people are putting in, and that really comes together in an in-person experience. So, and you also get to meet your fellow KabU students and instructors, and it's just simply great. But if you really can't make it in person for whatever reasons, and you can only attend virtually, so I do recommend getting your tickets virtually. As I said, get the early bird tickets. Get the early bird tickets now, and it's $50 off for the virtual, and it's $100 off for the in-person tickets. And that, as I said, it ends at the end of this week. So, and why not also get it right now? If you're in this event right now and you haven't got your tickets, get them, because even at the end of this session, we're giving away basically one free ticket. You get your all cash back on one of those tickets. So, pressing that point, get your tickets now. We're going to go to another clip.
Wait,
so
just before, I just want to add, it's completely risk-free, like Marcus said, because if you get your ticket and for whatever reason, until that same date, what was that date of the end of the early bird?
Friday the 17th of September.
Friday 17th. If for any reason you change your mind, you can't make it, something came up and you want to cancel, you will get a full refund.
Great.
Full refund, so you have no risk here. You can go ahead and get the ticket now. You can get into the potential prize of getting it for free even. And if for whatever reason something happens, you change your mind, until the end of the early bird, you can cancel your ticket, no questions asked.
While we're at it, one more thing. You also mentioned maybe some people watching us have some doubts. They're thinking, maybe should I go, should I not go? I would love to get such questions right now about that specifically. If you have questions, you know, that you're debating with yourself, should I or should I not go? Am I the right person? Do I know enough? The people there, who they are, what is it for me? Physical, virtual, all the doubts in regards to should I come to the retreat, I would love to hear them, and I think we would all love to comment on that. So go ahead, send questions.
Yeah, so send your questions in, because also after this clip that's just about to start, we're also going to go into a second prize for anyone who's asking their questions or anyone's commenting here. So now's your time to do that. And if you haven't got your ticket, get your ticket now, and you can also get your cash back on that by the end of the event. I already see people here asking lots of questions, sending in lots of inspirational comments, and also we have a few registrants already, so it's also really great to see. So let's go to the next clip.
Less than a month, something very special is taking place, and that is the October retreat.
I've been given a ticket to go up to Pennsylvania and meet the Creator in all of you.
I wanted to share with you why is it so important to go to a physical retreat. It's more people that gather together with the same goal, with the same purpose. There is something in the air that you can't miss it.
With that authentic connection, the sky is unlimited.
When we're actually together in these kind of gatherings, these congresses, these retreats, it's so fun. There's dancing and singing and talking to friends, and you know that inside
we all know what it's all about. By connecting, we're getting closer to Creator, and this retreat is promising to be something special.
Experience is like you coming home.
Hey, listen, I know it's difficult making the decision to go to one of the retreats, but I got to tell you, I went to the first retreat that was ever given, and it was one of the most amazing things I'd ever experienced in my life. It changed me. It really, really changed me.
The reason why you have to go to a Kabbalah retreat is that it makes you happy. It gives you a direction in life. The moment you buy your ticket, all of a sudden you're in a new world and everything revolves around going there.
Because if you have a lot of things you've got to overcome to get there, you're going to have huge breakthroughs.
Make the decision, book the ticket, get in your car, get on your bike, whatever you got, and just hit the highway, baby. Hit the highway.
to be together with all these people celebrating, it's a huge joy.
I can't wait This is going to be exciting. It's going to be mind-blowing, and it's going to be once in a lifetime. Take advantage of it.
I recommend. It's an amazing, amazing feeling that you can't feel. You can't feel it anywhere.
Because you will, for the first time, get to experience practical Kabbalah.
To be able to put to practice what it is that we study for, what it is that you came to be looking for.
I think you should make every effort to be there, and I'm sure it'll be amazing. Can't wait to see you in Poconos.
I'm going to be there. I want to see you. Without you, no creator. I look forward to it.
Buy a ticket, see how your life changes. That's what you gotta do.
So, hope to see you in the retreat.
All right, since we're now in an inspirational vibe, let's wait a little bit with that prize, and let's go and listen to a few more of these impressions of past retreats. I'd actually like to go and hear from Ruth, Melody, Michelle over here in the panel. If we can go over to the Zoom, let's hear some more impressions.
It's funny that you just chose me now, this very minute after this clip finished. It was like I was there now, you know. It was just like, wow, when did that happen? That was yesterday? When was that? You know, it's like so in the air. I feel like that it's already happening, you know, like because of all this event that we have this huge privilege to all be participating in now. And and seeing all those people in the that were speaking there and just now in the clip and the other ones before, and what happens actually when you are there in person. It's something so magical. It's kind of difficult to bring it over in words because it's a these are very, very powerful sensations. I think probably the closest thing I could say is, I mean, well, I never won a world lotto, but it's like winning a world lotto, you know. Just it's something beyond anything that you could imagine, any type of events that are taking place in this world. This is something much higher. It's very, very special individuals that have been chosen with their points of the heart, that these sparks of light that have awakened, and they connect together and something magical. It's like fireworks, you know, bigger, better, and incredibly strong. And I don't want to talk about, well, you know, because there's going to be a lot of beautiful surprises there, but from my experience, and I had the honor and privilege to participate in 2 of these live events physically in the Poconos, and just it's like a gift that you can't describe in words. It's something so beautiful, and very, very, very strong connections that you take those impressions with you. They'll be with you for a very, very long time, and they'll give you a lot of power to boost you forward on your spiritual journey, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. It's truly an amazing experience. I attended the first retreat virtually, and it was awesome. And the second one, I had the chance to be there physically, and it was truly absolutely amazing. So I bought my plane ticket, and I was excited and nervous at the same time. Nervous for, like, oh, who am I going to meet there? Who are those people? But once I arrived there, all those doubts just disappeared, and it was just full of connection and amazing people. And what I found there was the possibility for creating another level of existence, like a Kabbalistic way of life. And it just seemed so easy to attain. So being there, I learned that, you know, there is hope for everyone if we just work on building that connection among us.
And for those of you who have never been to a retreat or any type of Kabbalah activity or congress, there's always initially this self-consciousness when you arrive. There's a nervousness, especially if you're coming in and you've only engaged on social media, maybe a little shyness and whatever. It doesn't last long. I'm not saying that you won't feel that for a few minutes, maybe an hour, but you'll be surprised at how quickly you feel at home, and where you really relax into the environment. And one of the things that really stayed with me so much from this last retreat is the way that I really felt the environment. I carried it with me. I felt it while I was there. You know, we're engaging, we're talking, we're workshopping, we're listening to music. So there's all of this sensory stuff going on one level. But then there's like this larger landscape that you begin to feel, and it's like you feel the environment in its totality. And it's just so much more than one individual thing that's happening. It's so expansive, and there's this incredible sweetness that is palpable. And it's kind of like being wrapped in this kind of, it's not a cocoon because it's so expansive, but you're just kind of lifted out of any kind of self-consciousness or thoughts, and you're just in a much fuller, more expansive place. And to have that kind of first experience in nature, or attuned to nature if you're virtual, is just really exquisite. And I can't wait for everyone to experience something like that.
Thank you very much, everyone. Wow, the inspiration just keeps rising and rising, like through every speaker, through every clip, through everything that's happening. I just want to look. Let's keep going, because you're asking lots and lots of questions here, and we got to get to them. Before we get to the next answer to your questions, we'll have to give another prize away of another 8 books.
Prizes.
Another 8 books are going to Samuel Lena. To ask the following question. You ask this question and you got 8 books, which actually, I'm sure if you read these books, you're gonna get a good answer to this question.
Your answer is somewhere there in those 8 books.
Let's send this one over to Tony for now. Besides spiritual growth, what else does one receive in terms of bettering one's life?
Well, the thing about spiritual growth is that it's kind of an idea, and it's full of preconceptions. What you get in that setting is the orientation. You see what you feel on your experience and in your heart, what spirituality actually is. You feel when you're on track with it and when not. And it's because you're living in a 3-day sort of intensive environment, intensive being that the only thing that's happening there are the Kabbalistic principles and our engagement with them or not. What you get is let's say you're reading a book and you have an insight, you have some discernment, and that's wonderful, and that can carry you for a month. Every minute or two, there's another insight, because you're constantly moving and constantly interacting, but only with things that are about the principles themselves. It's like you are working with and against the property of the Creator, the quality of the Creator, as expressed through the way that things are naturally organized there. I mean, natural according to a higher world, and everything that the friends are doing, and you're constantly seeing the difference and the similarity. So it is real spiritual development. It's practical, and it sits in the memory. It's fixed in a person because it involves every aspect. It involves mind, heart, what we think of as body, food, fun, regular friendship, the deepest spiritual insights that happen, and they're all part of of a quality of life, but life on a very different level, without the pain, without the separation. I mean, we go in and out of that, but you see now you're coming above the surface and you begin to see this is a reality. This is totally possible. This is our birthright. This is what we're being developed towards, and this is how we develop towards it. And you can just take it from there. You bring, like Melody said, you bring that with you. It's like it's concrete in the realm of attainment, you know, and it becomes part of you and something that you give to others. And I guess I'll leave it there.
Tony. Before we get into the other question, as we said earlier, we have lots and lots of questions which are about all kinds of, you could say, technical things in relation to the retreat, from bringing your campers to bringing your dogs to all kinds of things. And we're actually going to have an exclusive Zoom session for everyone who's registered to the retreat. If you've got your retreat tickets, you have a link to the Zoom. It was sent to you. And also anyone who's a member of KabU can also join that Zoom. It's right after this setting now. So all those kinds of questions, we're going to answer those in the Zoom that's after this session now. But for now, we're going to go to Gianni, who's going to answer this question. What is the this question, by the way, is from YouTube, from Jensen Carabello. What is the purpose of pain, suffering, and trauma?
The purpose of pain, suffering, and trauma is so that you will go, ow! And this time you will actually, instead of trying to solve it at the level of this reality, because it's such an ow, such an ouch, that you look up. You actually look and you're wondering, is there an upper force? Since I'm not operating my life seemingly, because I wouldn't do this to myself, is there someone or some force that's causing it, that's causing me this suffering? And actually our entire life is really just to bring us to such an ow. And the fact that we have some good and some bad in life, that's only because without the good, we wouldn't be able to measure the bad. We measure one against the other. So our entire life and all the lives that we've lived is actually an accumulation that will bring us to this inner ouch that truly causes us to ask the question, well, what is the meaning of my life? And this starts the adventure, the search for, wait, what is actually the purpose? And it inevitably, if it's a truly deep inner ouch, it leads us to the wisdom of Kabbalah, which has the answer to that, because it's the place where we can start forming these connections, which actually correct all of the things around us that were causing us suffering, because the suffering is actually created by my slightly incorrect connection with the reality that I'm in. And if you correct your connection with that reality, even in a small group, even in a group of 10 people, let's say, but I change my attitude towards something outside of me, I already start seeing reality as this warm womb that is developing me. Like we used to feel the warmth of our mother, or, the warmth of family around us, or that warmth that you felt, say, the first time you met your special best friend, a best friend, or even a romantic partner, through which you, after meeting them, you experience life completely differently. This is what we can feel, and what I promise you will feel actually in the connection at this retreat. You'll feel like these are friends, and truly myself, I'm not a social person. I'm not a person who would be attracted to any such large gathering of people. I would not be. And I forced myself, or friends helped me want to come to every one of the maybe 15 of these events that I've gone to. And every single one that I go to it unwillingly, but I do it because, I want to reach the Creator. But what I feel after each one is that it's something indispensable, something that I never wanted, just like I never wanted to have kids, let's say. But each of my children, which one is more important? I can't tell you which one. Each one is invaluable. And every one of these events that I've gone to, I felt like that feeling of meeting that best friend that accompanies you for the rest of your life. Or having that child, that their specialness is incomparable. And that if before you didn't even want to have children, now you can't imagine a life in which they didn't exist. And I can say that I truly feel all of those conventions or retreats that I went to as the milestones of my life, especially of my spiritual life, like your wedding, you know, your graduation, the things that you look back on your life and you say, okay, the rest was boring, the rest was kind of redundant, but those are the things that really meant something. That's how you're going to experience this retreat. And afterwards, you're going to look at life, especially your Kabbalah studies, through a completely different lens.
All right, we have another question here from YouTube, from, sorry if I get your name pronunciation wrong, Jetsi de Jager.
Yetzi.
Yetzi, that's how you say it?
Yes, Yetzi is a regular viewer of the Great Transition.
Oh, really?
So we learned
nice.
to say his name. I hope, Yetzi, that we are saying your name correctly. But I'm pretty sure we are, yeah.
All right, I like your confidence in the... Well, anyway, we're going to ask this one again to Tony. So Tony, get ready over there. What does it mean when you practice Kabbalah besides study?
It is how we interact from our heart towards other people. What we direct our life at. What is the highest ideal for us, and to go forward, to understand that we're really not the author of well, just about, we're not the author of anything, but we're in the choir, you know, and there's a melody that is playing, and our job is to hear the melody and immerse ourselves in it and sing also. That is, there's a flow, and the doing of what we learn in Kabbalah is how to become like that quality of the Creator, which, you know, saying metaphorically is a melody. It also is a melody, but it's also a metaphor. And to do everything, to agree with it, to sing with it, you know, to make our efforts part of that. And the doing of it is to get out of the way, to have that part that we identify as, well, me and my ego and my inner world and all my considerations about, am I going to succeed with this or am I not going to succeed? All of that is put aside, and it's simply the doing, but the doing according to the principles that you learn and that become through habit a kind of second nature of how to make that choice to stop second guessing, viewing, considering only how am I doing and will I succeed, and all of the other doubts that come from that, and to do according to the principles, which eventually become in our heart like a second nature or a higher nature. And we only learn those things through experience, through a kind of trial and error, and constantly comparing that to what we hear from the books, from instructors, from the sages, and aiming and re-aiming and trying again to become, to sort of annul that yakety part of us that has nothing to do with the thing that we actually want to achieve, and to enter a more complete, the real reality, because that's all that it's about. It's really, the doing is to know how nature operates, what our role is in it, and just do that role, the same way that we would live in any situation that we felt now was natural, except what we're going to see when it becomes practical is that the quality of life for not only for the thing that we call me, but for everyone that we're engaged with becomes the same good, regardless of how it appears. It's like the doing of it brings the fulfillment of the dream that's at the bottom of your heart in the first place, which is why you came, you even entertained the thought that maybe there might be something here in the method of Kabbalah. It's the fulfilling of that, and it does happen.
Tony? Yeah, just before we get into the next question, I just want to remind anyone who's coming in now during the event, as it happens, we're doing an event where if you get your tickets during this event, so we're giving away the grand prize, which is a cashback, full cashback on whatever ticket you get. If it's an in-person ticket, you'll get your full cashback on the in-person retreat ticket. If it's a virtual ticket, so you'll get your full cashback on the virtual ticket. So anyone who's buying their tickets now during this event, if you haven't got them already, just understand that you're going into the draw for the grand prize, which we'll be drawing very soon, in less than half an hour. Less than half an hour from now, we'll be getting that. I've been seeing more and more people getting their tickets. It's really great. Just understand that we're having this early bird discount till the end of this week. And we'll go into the next question, another one from YouTube by Danielle Vergonet. Is it true that other people don't have the point in the heart, or can they develop it? This one will go to Gianni.
It exists in all of us, and it accompanied us through many incarnations. And it emerges, it surfaces for a brief time. And you've probably felt during the day or during the week or even during this broadcast that you kind of got distracted with other things, and then you came back to the excitement. And that excitement is an authentic joy at having found what is the trail back to your root in the upper world, to a beautiful, eternal world above the confines of time and space and the pain. And it emerges briefly again, and it hasn't emerged enough in some people to cause them to go on this journey. Meaning it can quickly get covered up by other corporeal pleasures. And those pleasures for now are enough to kind of put this desire out, to put it aside for a while. Now, those of us who have this awakening, it means that this point emerged enough, but it's just enough that I can take this seed. Let's say a very special plant could grow out of this special seed that I have. And in this case, it's the plant, it's the sense out of which the whole upper world can be felt. Just like we feel our world in a certain sense with 5 senses. This seed is the seed, but it's a closed point out of which, if it opens up, we'll feel an additional concrete, very real reality. But what we can do while it is briefly awakened is plant it in the right environment. And that's basically what this environment that you're feeling right now is. It's that environment, and an exponential instantiation of such an environment where we'll really create this kind of particle accelerator is the retreat. It's the chance to plant it and start feeling the sprouts of this point in the heart that you are now feeling for a time, and to make it something that can't die, because this point, this seed can be buried in the ground, and if it doesn't have the sun, rain, the soil that it needs in order to grow, then it goes to sleep. It can disappear, and it can even be covered by this life again, and we can fall back into just the regular way of life and advancement through suffering. But if we do the right thing, if we put it in the right environment now, we can grow it into something out of which you can actually sense this spiritual world.
All right, great. Keep your questions coming, guys. We've got lots of great questions here. As I said before, all your retreat-related questions, all these things from... there's lots of schedule-related questions as well. By the way, I just want to mention that the schedule for the retreat, because there's lots of things related to the schedule, like will there be time for chat for everyone, whether it's 24 hours around the clock, and if you miss the last day, what are you missing, all kinds of things related to the schedule. So all those things, the schedule is going to be up on the retreat website, retreat.kabbalah.info. It's going to be up this week. There you go, retreat.kabbalah.info. So keep checking back there, because you will get the schedule there this coming week. We promise you that.
Yeah, and if you've signed up to the retreat, we also have a retreat WhatsApp group where we'll be publishing all of the information, the schedule, links, whatever you need. So if you've already signed up, make sure you join the WhatsApp group. And if you want the link for it and you don't have it, then you can, of course, email info@kabuconnect.com.
All right.
Great. And as I said, all these retreat-related questions, we're going to get to them in this exclusive Zoom for everyone who's already got their tickets to the retreat after this specific event. For now, we'll get to a few more general questions. If we can send one over now to, let's say, Gil, you can answer this one. How do you explain Kabbalah to a religious friend, by James Owalabi?
To a religious friend. Okay. So that's easy. The same way you explain Kabbalah to a non-religious friend. Because Kabbalah, although it's associated, maybe some people have misconceptions about it, that it's related, that it's connected, that it's part of Judaism. In fact, it predates Judaism and all other religions. It dates back to almost 6,000 years ago. So if you want to explain Kabbalah to anyone, actually, the explanation is the same. It is the method, the science of connection. That's actually, we have the KabU tagline, which is KabU, the science of connection. That's what the wisdom of Kabbalah is. It's not mysticism, it's not voodoo, it's not red strings, it's none of that. It is the science of, you can even say, human connection. And that connecting force is something additional to the human. It's the force that governs everything in reality. It's called light. And that is the force that connects us. So, put it that way, it's pretty simple. It's the science of connection.
Another question from YouTube here. We'll give it to you, Joseph, by Mars. Speaking of senses, I can name the 5 senses of reception: taste, smell, sight, etc.
Right.
Are there names for the senses of bestowal?
Yes, there are. Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, Zeranpin, Malchut. And Zeranpin is a sense, if you will, that can be detailed into 6 senses as well. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. All of that complex is called the 10 Sfirot, or the Tree of Life, and it is essentially the spiritual vessel, the sensory organ of the soul, if you will. That is how we perceive the spiritual reality. Just like through your eardrum you perceive sound, it's not actually accurate. You don't actually perceive the sound. You sense a certain pressure, and that pressure is then countered with pressure from your own mechanism, and then that pressure is translated into electrochemical signals in your brain, and that creates a picture of reality. But what you hear, we call that hearing, right? What you interpret through that eardrum mechanism. So in Kabbalah, we talk about the 10 Sfirot as being the senses of the soul, and through those 5 spiritual senses, Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, Zeranpin, Malchut, we perceive the lights of Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechidah. Weird names if you hear them for the first time, but if you'll go into our courses in KabU, you'll learn all about it. So check it out. What else?
All right, we got another question here by Jeanette in relation to the retreat, saying many European friends, they cannot attend the retreat due to US COVID restrictions. Our desire is great. How can we feel the friends more as online participants and remain joyful when we can't physically attend? Thank you. Let's go to Gil.
Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, if you live in Europe, then I would recommend to first of all check, because we do have students coming from Europe, from different countries in Europe. So I would first of all check what the regulations are. I know I'm coming from Israel and I just need to have a test before my flight, and that's basically it. So if you want to come, no matter where you are in the world, just check if you can, if the regulations enable it. And what was the question? What happens if you can't make it?
It was, our desire is great. How can we feel the friends more as online participants and remain joyful when we can't physically attend?
Right. Okay, so you're probably thinking, if you checked and you can't make it, then you're going to be at home and you're going to be looking at them on the screen and you're going to be kind of wanting to be with them. That's partially true. You might feel that, although you're not going to be looking at them on the screen. You're going to be with them at the event.
Yes.
That needs to be clear. Even, we're planning a bonfire in the evening. Even then, we're going to be dragging along to wherever we're having the bonfire, a big screen or even two, and we're going to put on that screen all of the participants who are going to be attending virtually, and you're going to be seated with us around the bonfire, singing songs with us, participating, sharing your inspiration, just like anyone else. So you're not watching those that are attending physically on the screen. You're participating together with everyone at the retreat, physically or virtually.
And you only need a 4,000-mile long stick to roast your marshmallow.
All right. Okay, we're getting into the last 15 minutes now. Soon we'll even get into this announcing of the grand prize winner. But before that, we do want to let you know that now is the time, really now, this minute now. If you start registering now, now's your real last chance to get in for the grand prize of the cashback to your retreat ticket. So we already know lots of you have already registered. But we are
when are you going to be announcing it? In how long exactly?
Within the next, let's say, 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes. And the registration process takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you're savvy.
So, pardon?
If you're savvy.
If you're savvy, it takes 5. If you're not so savvy,
and
then
if you're on your mobile, it's more complicated.
So,
but I still have a chance.
You still have a chance, but do it now.
Okay.
So
start. If you want to do it, now. Now's the time. Click the links. Please paste the links again in all the chats.
Retreat.Kabbalah.info, click on get tickets there, and that's where you go for your tickets. And we're reminding as well that even if you don't get it right now, this Friday is the end of the early bird discount, where you get $50 off the virtual ticket and you get $100 off the in-person ticket, as you see here. So we really are, this is why we're promoting this so heavily right now, so that you really get in and really save your money when you do get your tickets.
The in-person, by the way, it includes both the event ticket and also lodging and meals, etc. So that's all included in the in-person ticket, just in case you were wondering.
Right. So yeah, so you can already get started on that. And there was a question a bit earlier. Let's just go back to that question. Tony actually answered it, but there's also an answer here that Rav Leitman is going to give in a second. Yetzi asked, what does it mean when you practice Kabbalah besides study? Here's a clip with Rav Leitman also talking about what it means to study Kabbalah practically in relation to going to a Kabbalah convention. Convention, by the way, you can think of it as a bigger form of what we go through at the retreat. The retreat and a convention, ultimately they're two very similar events. It's the culmination of all the means for spirituality coming together in their highest concentration, and we intensively gather and draw the light and connect and bring all these positive forces among each other and into the world. At a convention, you could say a convention is much more global, a much more bigger event. We have global conventions, we have regional conventions, but they're usually masses of people and in hotels and things. A retreat is simply more intimate. Here, this retreat is more focused for you could say a smaller gathering of people, everyone involved in KabU. It'll only be in English, and it's more of this intimate setting. But ultimately, it's the same thing. And Rav Leitman is answering a question now from Mike Kellogg is asking him the question. Mike Kellogg's also one of the long-time friends here and the original founder of what's now known as KabU, together with Tony. Talking about what is practical Kabbalah. So let's go watch this clip with Kabbalist Dr. Michael Leitman, and then soon we'll start wrapping it up.
In a state where the ego separates us. And according to the plan of creation, we must become connected in brotherly love. And this is something that is impossible to realize using our own strength, because we're all simple egoists. And egoistically, we can only feel this world. It is whatever each individual perceives in their small egos. Once a person comes out of it and starts actually feeling the others, he starts feeling in this new attitude towards them a reality called the spiritual world, or the next world, or the upper reality. And this is something very practical that we can do together in this kind of convention, through that connection between us, and tangibly feel it. To actually realize that is what we intend to do. I really hope that it will happen. And if not in this convention, then maybe in the next one. But we are going towards that. And what we're going to do is really tangible things, practical things that the wisdom of Kabbalah writes about, that the Zohar writes about, here and now, on the face of earth, between human beings.
All right, so that's it. We're going into the... Look, even before we get into the final prize, let's just get into one more question here. Let's send it over to Gianni. We have a time for another question before getting into it. So another question from YouTube, from someone who simply refers to themselves as M. How do we develop all these spiritual senses?
It's a great question, because instinctively we understand that we can't do it. I can't, my senses, even my senses, like, I don't know how they were developed. Nature did it through such sophistications that science doesn't even really understand how to, construct a working human ear. And so your question is correct, that we actually can't form this sense. What we can do is we can put ourselves in an environment, we can put ourselves under the influence of a special field. Just like in our world, there are special fields that can develop, a petri dish or a special particle accelerator or soil where a certain kind of plant can grow. There's a special field for this desire that brought you here, this point in the heart. And all I have to actually do, the smartest, most intelligent thing that I need to do, is just plant myself in that environment, in that special environment that's created actually out of others who have this same desire. In that field, there is a force in nature that also has the intelligence, just like it knows how to give every one of the 7 billion babies in this world. It knows how to construct the brain, the heart, the lungs, and in the exact same order each time. It's this program that works. When this little substance is inside of this environment called the womb. Similarly, I'm putting myself in this womb, and it's working on me, and it's actually developing this sense inside of me.
All right. Look, Joseph, you asked for these kinds of questions before, so we actually had one just come in right now. Another one from BL, someone who refers to themselves as BL from YouTube. What he asks is, my background sometimes holds me back from such events, military and law enforcement. I'm a bit stubborn. How can I overcome?
Wow. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing this. I'm sure that other people feel something similar. And you know what? I gotta say that I too, before I, that was many years ago, many years ago, but still before I met physically, went to an event with other people studying this wisdom, it was accompanied by doubt
and similar kinds of hesitations. I'm a certain kind of person. I don't know necessarily if I'm going to like the people or being around them. Do I have shared interests with them? All of those, this type of questions, I hope I'm hitting on what you're feeling, right? We all felt that. Probably most of us. There's people coming with all the kinds of characteristics you can have. Introverts, extroverts, people with all kinds of backgrounds from all walks of life. The beautiful thing that happens, and it happens fast. I'm talking probably within maybe a couple hours. In such an event, you literally are able to transcend all of those differences. There is such an environment that is at play in such an event that specifically because we come with these differences, because we come with different personalities and everyone has a certain kind of resistance they're coming with, it's sort of like, we call it in Kabbalah, it's your effort or your exertion or your labor, or you carry your, watch out, technical term, of yut with you. You carry, we call it thickness, the thickness of the desire to receive, the thickness of the ego. There's a lot to learn about that, but it's something that you feel. You take a certain load with you, but then you overcome it. You will overcome. Why? Because there's going to be an environment that is stronger than yourself, stronger than whatever load, personal load, that you bring with you. We create such an environment there that is able to lift you. And then what happens is that we discover that we're all different. On one level of called this world, the material world, we have different qualities, characteristics, psychographics, background, personalities, all of that, and yet we find that there is a connection between us that goes beyond all of these things. It's miraculous. I can't describe it in any other word, really. It's something that you have to feel. You will feel that you and other people completely different from you, not just that you're one with them, but that there is a force of oneness between you that is capable of tying all these opposites in a complementary way. That thing that we feel in a Kabbalah retreat, in such an event, is the very binding force of nature. It's the thing that brings hydrogen and oxygen together to make water, something that didn't exist before. It's the thing that brings cells together to create a multicellular organism. This is the kind of force that we're coming to achieve, and specifically because you feel a certain resistance or burdening or hesitation, that means you have one side of the preparation for the event covered. The other side is just to get yourself to the event, really. The rest, the environment, will take care of that. We'll take care of the rest. The environment will do the rest. So I'm very happy. I gave you a really honest answer based on empirical experience that I'm sure all of my friends here on this panel will share as well. So
no, we never had any resistance. We never had any resistance. We always came to the, no, seriously though, it's always a mix of like this inspiration and excitement, and also some kind of reservation, even fear, and it's on all different levels. I'm an introvert, I'm this, I'm that, I don't like people, I do like people, I'm young, I'm old, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim. There's a million things, really, and what Joseph said now, that's what you should take with you, that it's a connection that's above the qualities of the corporeal world. So we'll see you there.
All right, guys, look, we got so many questions coming in, but we only got 2 minutes left for this. So now is the time to draw the grand prize winner. But just before that, we do want to say that we have a Zoom after this one for everyone who's a KabU member, plus everyone who's registered to this retreat. As we said earlier, that there's been lots and lots and lots of questions about lots of, you could say, technical aspects of coming to the retreat. We're going to get to all of those in this post Zoom, post-event Zoom. And now it's time to draw the lucky person. By the way, we're getting so many registrations now in the last few minutes. Look, 14 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes. It's really, really great to see. I'm sure if I refresh the page, it'll probably come up like that as well. So that's really great to see. Now let's go and draw the grand prize winner. One of you has just won full cash back on your retreat ticket. Let's see who it is. Drum roll, please. And it goes to Ignacio Reyes.
Woo!
All right, Ignacio. All right. Good going there.
Right.
Very nice work. So yeah, it's been really great being with you all. Once again, let's do a final reminder. Retreat tickets are available only this week. Let's just show, there we go, at retreat.kabbalah.info. We really want to see everyone there. In person, if you can make it, it's always preferable, but if you can't, then virtual, it's definitely the way to go. So you can either be there in the beautiful Iroquois Springs, in Catskills Mountains, New York. It'll be an extraordinary camp experience at a natural oasis. You'll meet your fellow students and instructors there. It's an amazing immersion event. Or participate from the comfort of your own home, on your mobile, on your laptop, on your tablet, wherever you want to be, on your smartwatch.
And let us say again, it's a full participation. This is going to be a hybrid Congress. It doesn't matter where you are. If that's what you can do, come virtually. You will not miss a thing. The instructors too, some of them will be there in the event. Some of them will be broadcasting from all around the world. It's not like there is an event in one place and everyone else is watching. It is literally a cross-dimensional event that is bridging together the virtual and the physical, really with the spiritual, because ultimately we want to rise above both of these worlds, both physical and virtual. That's where our connection happens, above both of them.
Right, and just I want to add also, if the only thing that's preventing you from coming is a financial situation, then we can help. Because actually, your fellow students have already helped. We have a fund we opened that's called Help a Friend. And students, when they sign up to the retreat, they can choose to contribute to that fund. And students have contributed to the Help a Friend fund. So if the only thing preventing you from coming is a financial difficulty, then don't hesitate. Reach out to info@kabuconnect.com. Just say the situation in short, and the KabU team there will assist you and will help you to get that financial aid so you can attend. So no excuses now.
All right, so that's about it. We're already over time now, and now we're going to go into the other Zoom. So come if you can.
Right.
Also join KabU. If you're not a KabU member and you're watching on YouTube or Facebook right now, just join KabU. Go to kabuconnect.com, click Become a Member, and within a few seconds you'll be able to join this Zoom that we're just about to have now about the retreat and everything. So we better get over there.
So if I am not a KabU student, can I go right now and sign up for KabU, and then I can join the Zoom? And we're gonna by the way,
KabU or to the retreat,
or just to register for the retreat. Yeah. In any case, we'll see you there.
We'll see you there in about 5 minutes, because we've got to arrange the setup here.
So we've got to turn off here and turn on there. So
yeah. So,
all right, thank you all very much.
And
thank you also to our great panel, Tony, Gianni, Melody, Michelle, Ruth. Everyone's been really great. I really feel you here just around the table, just with us. You know, this is the essence of what we're doing here. This feeling this connection beyond all the boundaries, and it's been great. See you all later.
what we can't understand. the sorrow, it's all one. The good and the bad, what's past and tomorrow, and it's all one. What's near and what's far, revealed and concealed in us, all is one. Now we bow our heads, stand above the pain, lost inside the friends, living once again, bound by threads of love, of a single care, here inside the friends, every heart in prayer. It's all one. The light and the darkness, the sweetness, the sorrow, it's all one. The good and the bad, what's past and tomorrow, and it's all one. What's near and what's far, revealed and concealed in us, all is one. Blink of an eye, it'll all disappear, and we'll turn from this world to a world without end, where each sin that we've sown will be shown in our favor. This is our life, this is our labor, till it's all one. All is one. And it's all one. The light and the darkness, the sweetness, the sorrow, it's all one. The good and the bad, what's past and tomorrow, and it's all one. The near and the far, revealed and concealed in us, all is one.
Thank you, guys. That was amazing. Can I close this Zoom now?
Oh, do we stay on this Zoom or do we go to another?
It's another Zoom.